Hi y'all, I'm gonna be doing something I've never done before. And this is my 5-minute face using this palette from Ever. It is from the makeup division of Ever Clinical Skincare. And a lot of the products I am using are Ever, but I will also share what other products I use if I intersperse those in. So here goes nothing, 5 minutes. Let's prayerfully think that I can do this. I can do it pretty quick. I've never timed myself though. So anyway, I have started already by washing my face, and today I decided to go with the Ever Tinted Moisturizer. Obviously being at home and today not needing to do a whole lot, I thought I would start with this. And I use this on days that I don't necessarily need to be fully pulled together. So I love it. SPF 32, super important. And I put it all over my face and down my neck. And then I also have put in with it just these little tanning drops from Ever as well. These are the best. I am actually very pale and I feel like I have a little bit of color right now. So these are the Vacay drops. So that was just the base with which I started after I washed and cleansed and did all that stuff. So then what I do, and this is just, I am not a makeup expert. I am not a makeup artist, none of that. I do have fun with it, but I am by no means like a super go-to expert on this, but I like it and thought, well, maybe I can add some value to you. So this is the Ever Treatment Concealer, and I'm using this in Extra Light. I am actually not 100% sure if this falls into the makeup category or the skincare category, but what I usually do just to give myself a little bit of a base is I just like dab this around. And then what I do is I will just like kind of like tap this in just to give myself an eyeshadow base. I am not sure if this is how you're supposed to use this product 100%, but I have found I've used eyeshadow bases before, and I find that just my concealer seems to work pretty well. So I just kind of get this in all right in there. And so I just have a little bit of a base. Then what I do, and I like to start with my eyeshadow first just because, you know, you get all the little drippies. I will just put this base color on. It is this color right here. Just something super, super neutral. And then I take this middle color here and I just rub this like all over my eye. Just kind of just give it a nice little base coat on the lid of my eye. Never done this in my phone before, so excuse me if I have to look off to the side for a second just to make sure I'm getting this right. I have a bigger space to peek at in my mirror that is right in front of me. But basically, you get the idea right here. Voila. Okay. Yeah, not bad. Oh, got a little extra stuff here. Okay, so I take that, and then I have this other, the brushes I'm using, we have brushes with Ever. I just have some brushes I have used forever. I will, get it? I like will plug into this little darker color and just kind of go like right here at my lash line, just to give it a little bit of definition around my eyes. I'm not even sure if I'm getting this right. And sometimes I will go off, one sec. There we go. And then I will go off to the side just a little bit. Just personal preference here, I don't know. Voila. So it didn't go on like perfectly, but just how it is. So I'm gonna look at this. This mirror will work here. And then I just take this brush and I just blend it all together. Just blend, 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 blend. Voila. Okay. So that's just like the top part of my eye. Then sometimes I will add this. This is actually a Charlotte Tilbury color. This was for it's a color Chameleon. It's Amethyst Aphrodisiac. And I sometimes will actually just kind of go over this on the sides just to add a little bit of dimension, just to add something else there. And then I also will, what else do I do? I have this brush here, and so I will also sometimes a lot of times probably, just dip this into the color. I'm gonna look in this mirror right here and just go a little bit on my bottom lash line just to make my eye pop, or it makes me think my eye pops more. So I do that on the bottom. And I should also say right now, I am using, I set a timer on my wrist. Voila. For 5 minutes. I'm gonna turn that off because this really does take 5 minutes, but I've never explained this before. Then what I do is I start with my first coat of mascara, and I use Whiplash. This is an amazing buildable mascara, and I just go across my, there we go. I just put my first coat on before I move forward to the rest of what I'm gonna do with my face, because like I said, I like to put on my eyeshadow first, just because then, you know, those little droppy things, the shadow debris doesn't get all over everything. Then I actually take this, this is part of the two-step system with the Ever Treatment Concealer. And this is a corrector. And so what this does is it just helps lighten and brighten. It has the orange little tint to it. I just use a tiny tad, and I will just like dab it all underneath my eye. This is like one layer, a very, very light layer, by the way. Making sure I'm getting it over here. Very light layer, voila, okay. And then I take the concealer, I'll find a different finger here, probably put it on my right hand. Well, you know what, it's all mixed up on your skin too. So that concealer I used on is my eyeshadow base. I just use under my eye as well, just to brighten it up a little bit. And what I love about these little sponges is that they just kind of, you know, I feel like you can wipe, you know, just blend it in, but also wipe it off a little bit if you need it. I'm not sure if that's the exact way that you're supposed to do this, but like I said, this is how I do it. I love your tips. So I just kind of put this all around right here. I sometimes just take my finger and blend it a little bit. If I was going like totally full face makeup, I would then go to using my Ever Forever foundation. This is a great foundation. I've used everything, excuse me. And I love it. It's a buildable foundation. Love this, but I'm gonna go pretty light today, just because. And then what I do after this, just because I like to have a little bit of a setting powder, I've used this for years. This is Chanel, and the way I do is like, I take the little thing that comes with it, and I just pad my brush into it, and I just kind of give myself a light dusting just to let the moisturizing, the tinted moisturizer that I have, or if I'm wearing foundation, just set a little bit, just to give it a little bit more. And I go a little bit under my eye. There we go. Okay. Then I will go back to my palette, my handy dandy palette here, and I will use I use this bronzer here. So I go dip into the bronzer. Sometimes I'll just shake it out a little bit over my sink. And this is where I make funny faces. I'll go under my cheekbone. I'm not a contouring expert whatsoever, but look, I kind of have a little bit of contour. And then I just do a little bit here and here, give myself a little bit of color around my face, on my jawbone, all around. There we go. And then I will take my blush here, and I just, another funny face. There we go. A little bit of color. And about this time, oh yeah, actually, I also then take my little highlighter and I'll just brighten it up. Just a tad. There we go. And I also use this this brow groomer I don't think it was called the brow groomer anymore, but this is by Lancome, and I just, you know, it has just a tiny hint of color, but look at the difference right there. I just put this on my brows, and there we go. And at this time, I probably would just add one more layer of mascara, maybe two, just depending. I do not have extensions at all with my eyelashes. But here we go. I just kind of added in between while I'm getting ready. And since I've already put my concealer on the bottom, I'll sometimes just add just a little bit on the edges over here. Not all the way across, but there we go. Then, I don't know, I'm like a lip liner person. So this is just a drugstore by my NYX eyeliner, or no, lip liner. And I just do this to get a good little base color. Truthfully, I will mix lipstick colors like it's nobody's business. So I do that quite frequently. And I'm searching for one more, my Ever lip color. I actually was given a superlative once of girl most likely to have fresh lipstick on, and that still holds true to me today. Even if I'm not wearing makeup, I'll put on lipstick. So this is actually the Ever Forever lip color. This color is Flirt, and I just put it on, all right, all over my lips. And then this is the Ever Flash lip gloss. And I will give myself a little bit of a gloss for a good neutral lip. I sometimes will come back in. See, this is my layering, my little layering thing, but sometimes I'll come back in. This is a super bright color, but I just dot if I feel like that looks a little, since I have a little bit of lighter makeup on, I'll dot this really bright color on. Mix it around. Have a little bit of a brighter lip. There we go. I feel like I'm a little more alive with just a little bit of extra color, but bottom line, this is just how I have pulled together. I say it's a 5-minute face, maybe a few minutes longer than a 5-minute face in the explanation of it all, but what do you think? Can you do it? I bet you can. Have a great day.